Hello, my name is Davion Temby. I'm going to be going over the evolution of legal precedents and case law decisions that govern criminal proceedings. All right, first, I will talk about case laws. I'll tell you what a case law is and how they're used in today's court proceedings. Case laws are important in all court cases, trials, and court proceedings. And they're very necessary, I feel. So first, what is a case law? A case law is a decision that becomes precedent for later cases involving the same issue. Case laws are like blueprints, like somebody's already went through the case in trials, and future cases that are seen the same way, they can use them as a reference, and judges can see and use them as a guide to make a ruling. The U.S. legal system is based on the concept that the legislator enacts laws and the courts, they interpret them. So legislators, they make laws for people to follow, and the court's job is to interpret them and make sure that they're understandable and that people know exactly what the law means and how to follow it. Of course, with case laws, there's problems with them. I feel the biggest problem with case laws are there's no automatic feedback from the courts to the legislator. So this is where trials can come into play. To interpret a law, which is the court's job, there's little technicalities and there's no exact meaning for laws, for some laws, and it's hard for courts to go to lawmakers and get specifics. So trials come in, and it's based on the judges and the juries. So before case laws, judges would find similar cases like out of their jurisdiction, out of their states, and that's how they would make rulings on certain matters in certain cases. Decisions by the appellate courts are considered binding and subsequent. This is called stare decisis. Appellate courts can be low courts. Higher courts can reverse and change rulings of lower courts. Earlier decisions become precedent and they become case laws for later cases involving the same issues. How many levels of courts are there? So there are 3 levels of courts. That's the U.S. District Court, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, and the U.S. Supreme Court, which is above all courts. Like I was saying earlier, in final decisions, a higher court, they can reverse, vacate, change all rulings of lower courts. So the Supreme Court can change all rulings from the circuit courts and from the district courts. Same as the circuit courts, they can change rulings from the district courts. If this hasn't happened, then an appeals court can overrule and change its old decisions. So courts can also change their own decisions. So district court, they can change their own decisions, but they can't change the Supreme Court's decision. So there are many examples of case laws. It's like Roe versus Wade. I think that's the abortions one, where it says it's unconstitutional for abortions, and the woman was fighting for abortion rights. There's Gideon versus Wainwright. There's Brown versus Department of Education, what makes it unconstitutional for schools to separate blacks and whites. There's Marbury versus Mason, and there's Miranda versus Arizona, which I feel is one of the most important case laws because that helps you out from self-incrimination. So with Miranda versus Arizona, it keeps you from incriminating yourself. That's where the Miranda rights come from. Cops, before questioning or interrogations, cops and investigators, they must let you know your rights, and before questioning, you must waive your rights, or you have a right to an attorney. Um, and that's what the Miranda rights are. Right. And in conclusion, case laws are precedent. Case laws are the first laws and first court cases of certain crimes or certain trials or whatever. Case laws can be seen as like blueprints, or they can be seen as like references, and case laws are precedent. And that's it.